and sisters, this is your boy Broja coming at you with another journey guide video. Tonight, we are going to take a look back at Phase 2 of the Clash on Kamino event, otherwise known as Gas Phase 2 for General Anakin Skywalker. I say a look back because I actually completed the event last night, or extremely early this morning, about 3:30 in the morning. Um, Normally when I do these videos, I actually start, I do it all in one run. I kind of talk about what the event's going to be, what my strategy is going to be, what my team is, the gear levels, the mods, and then I hop into the event and try to take it down. Well, last night I was doing the event over and over and over again with um, different attack orders, different ability orders, um, different mod sets, and it just became cumbersome to keep trying to um, start a video with my kind of normal cadence. So I just let my video equipment just keep running while I was doing different things. And so when I actually took the event down, I wasn't talking about strategy at all. After it was over, I went back and recorded kind of what my uh, the mods that I was using, the gear levels, why I was using the mods I was using, and really the biggest change that I made right before the run that I completed it on was a change of the Ahsoka mod set. So um, what I'm going to do now is just kind of introduce the event, and then I will splice in the video of the gameplay from last night, and I'll record new audio over it, kind of talking about the strategy of the event. And then at the end, you will have my comments and kind of an in-depth on the gear level that I used, as well as the mod sets and my reasoning for that. So without further ado, what we're going to do here real quick is just give you a introduction into um, the event and what it looks like. So I'm just going to boot it up and then I'll retreat out of it. But if you haven't ever seen the Phase 2 gas event before, it's fairly straightforward, meaning that to get past the event, all you have to do is defeat General Grievous. Not a big deal, right? I wish it was that easy. So it's actually an event that has 7 droid units, General Grievous, 2 droidicas, 2 Magna Guards, a B1 and a B2. So again, the goal is to defeat General Grievous, but you can't target him. So when can you target him? Well, you can target him once the droidicas are down. You have to take out both droidicas. All right, sounds easy enough. Well, to do that, you have to get rid of a Magna Guard. One of the mechanics for this event is as long as both of these Magna Guards are active, then both droidicas have their shields for damage immunity. So you can't do any damage to the droidicas as long as both Magna Guards are up, so you have to take out at least one Magna Guard. And then while one Magna Guard is down, you can start hammering away on the droidicas. Once the droidicas are gone, then you can hammer on Grievous. The Magna Guards do respawn, so that makes it even more difficult. The droidicas do not, so thankfully. The Magna Guards will also taunt, so if you allow one of them to taunt while you take the other one out, you won't be able to hammer on the droidicas because you have to get rid of the taunt first, and then you can hit them. They go so quick, though, that the other Magna Guard will respawn pretty quickly, so you got to kind of time that out, or use Confuse from C-3PO to block the taunt on the Magna Guard. And that's not all. The biggest fly in the ointment, in my opinion anyway, is the B2. The B2 gets called anytime, essentially, you do damage to other droids, and one of the things that he does that's super lovely is, where is it? He will block your ability to buff. He hits everyone with buff immunity. I know it's on his AoE, so we'll just um, there it is. So and he can use this AoE when he does retribution for damage to other droids. So the the whole kind of strategy of this group that you're going to be using is, or that I'm using, um, is building up stacks of translation, stacks of protection, stacks of courage. All of these buffs are necessary to complete this event. This whole squad is based on stacking of multiple buffs. So allowing the B2 to get off his AoE and hit everyone with buff immunity makes the event impossible. So you have to take the B2 out as quickly as you can. So my strategy for the event was to take him out first and go from there. So with that, I'm going to bow out of this, and then we will start up the video from last night. All right, so here we are, re-entering the event last night. So as I just mentioned, we're going to be going after B2 right away. There is a particular order that I have my tunes set at with their speed levels that I will get into at the end of the video. But basically, I want to have Padme, C-3PO, Shaak-Ti, and General Kenobi go in that order to take the B2 out. So Padme is going to give everyone protection up right out of the gate, which also gives her a stack of translation. C-3PO is then going to hit translation on Padme to get her her second one. Then we're going to use Shaak-Ti's first special ability to get Padme's tenacity up. And then we're going to we use General Kenobi's mass assist to take the B2 out. You're going to see that Ahsoka is a big key to this event because of her Zeta, where you are using, anytime you use a special ability from one of your other Galactic Republic characters, she's called to assist. So she's attacking the most out of anyone. Right here, I'm trying to decide if I go ahead and start hitting the droidicas, or if I try to get Confuse on the Magna droid. And I decided to try and get Confuse on the Magna so that he wouldn't taunt after I hit the droidica. His turn meter didn't end up actually going up as fast as I thought it was going to, but it was still good to get that Confuse on, because I actually ended up getting 2 stacks and I took the droidica out. So I made the right decision there. And then the other Magna Guard respawned right after the droidica was gone. So now I have to deal with him. Once I hit the translation on Padme, she's got now 3 stacks, which means all of her cooldowns are reduced by 1. The Magna Guard then goes away again, and I still have the 2 stacks of confusion on the other one, so I'm free to hit the droidica at will at this point, which is really quite nice, because then I took him out, which allows me then to start pounding away on Grievous. This was the only time that I actually pulled it off this quickly. I just happened to get the right RNG. I happened to get the 2 stacks of confusion on the Magna Guard, so it couldn't get dispelled right away, and he hits with the taunt. So now I'm able to come after Grievous, hit him with confusion, keep calling Ahsoka. You'll see here I'm hesitating with Kenobi. Do I attack with his 8 stacks of courage, or do I call Ahsoka? And I decided to call Ahsoka just because her crit damage is modded much higher, and so I wanted that extra damage from her. So, and now that the Magna Guard was free of confusion, he taunted right away, attacked, and now because of a special from Grievous, he's able to put mark on other droids to protect himself, so I can't attack him anymore. So now, unfortunately, I'm stuck taking out the other droids instead of just taking out Grievous. One of the mechanics with this event is once you take Grievous out, any other remaining droids that are there are instantly defeated. Well, he also gets to put mark on them so that you have to take out the other droids first. So that really kind of stinks. Losing C-3PO at that point, really I thought I was done. I was like, oh man, I had such great RNG to be able to attack Grievous right away. And then C-3PO was gone, which meant all my translation was gone. But I happened to have the kind of the right combination of turn meter and cooldown orders so that I was able to pull off the right combination of hits to finish him off. I was able to heal right here, which also brings Ahsoka in. I was able to use Kenobi's unique again to send Ahsoka. I only had another round to go to wait for Ahsoka, but had Padme's kick. Once again, just able to... Now here I'm trying to decide, am I going to do tenacity up and speed up on Padme, or am I going to give General Kenobi the crit immunity? I decided to go with Padme because Kenobi was going to get some protection up anyway. And it ended up being, again, the right decision. There it is. All those stacks of courage were massive. And the audio at this point, there it is. Finished phase 2 of gas as promised at the beginning. Since I was quiet throughout the whole run, just kind of focusing on what I needed to do. I'm going to take a few minutes here to go through my squad, what their stats are, the mods, and what I was trying to do. So yeah, let's take a look at that. Sorry, I'm still just kind of beside myself a little bit that I was able to clear it, especially once I lost 3PO. So let's go ahead and take a look at the... Well, yeah, we'll go back in this way. It's going to be faster. All right. So as you can see, everyone is gear 12 or better. Shaak Ti, we all know I have the Shaak Ti clones for the Sith Triumvirate raid, so Shaak Ti is a Relic 7. This past week I got General Kenobi up to a Relic 5, as well as getting Ahsoka to gear 12. I was hoping to be able to do it a little bit more under-geared than this, and I did try several runs at it with kind of a little bit weaker power. The power requirements, again, just like most of the others, 7 stars and 17.7 for galactic power, and man, I tried several times doing it, even with the speed, and I just couldn't get there. So I didn't have the survivability that I needed. So we're going to run through kind of their mod sets quick. There is a speed element to this that I know that Wi-Fi just was able to do it without hitting the speed requirement, and he went through kind of the mods that he put on everybody for that. But I was trying to make this as easy as possible. Just given the mod sets that I had, I couldn't get Ahsoka enough damage, and I couldn't get Kenobi enough health to do it without getting the speed requirement. So there's kind of a turn order at the beginning that you want to have to be able to take the B2 out. And you saw in the video, I took the B2 out before the Separatists and any of the droids took a turn. And to do that, you really want to have Padme go first, then 3PO, then Shaak-Ti, then General Kenobi. And you saw that I did that. So I had to make sure that I got everybody enough speed and then have the speed in the correct order to pull it off. So you have to have 270 or higher speed for that, for those 4 characters, and then have them be, again, set your turn order in that manner. So I've got a speed set on Padme, and then I've got, but it's still a broken set overall because I don't have matching stuff here. But really what I was looking to do was ensure that I could make sure that she went first from my squad, so she's got a 284 speed, and I wanted her to have pretty high crit damage for when she pulls off her kick. And I needed to have her protection up because I knew I wasn't going to get her health up high enough without getting her relic, and I just didn't want to do it. I could have put 2 health mods here with speed, but I didn't have enough of them with speed to make up the difference that I was going to lose. So you'll see in a second that I put 2 health mods on General Kenobi and kept his speed up. And again, somewhat of a broken set where it was a speed set with health. Next, we're going to have C-3PO. Shaak-Ti. I just went pure speed on this, but I went with all 6 just because I didn't need the extra bonus from having a 2 mod set. Just having the extra set bonus for speed of the extra 10%. She's already super fast, and so you see I don't even have all 6-dot or even level E mods. I've got a blue and a purple. I actually set her mod set last just because she's already the fastest character with her base speed, and she needed to go 3rd out of the front 4, and with all the different speed mods that I've been farming over the last few months, I knew that I could find some combination that would get me to the number that I needed to hit, which was all that was important for me. And so to have her go second, sitting at 280, she's got plenty of health and protection. She's going to survive. She's got big crit damage. Now, she hits like a wet noodle anyway, but once you get the stacks of courage from Padme, then she hits pretty hard, having that kind of crit damage. So I was really just looking for offense and crits on a little bit of a slower speed set, like there's an 8, but I had some offense there, had big crit damage, some protection to keep her safe, tenacity so that she wasn't getting debuffed and things of that nature. So for her, I didn't care that I didn't get another boost anywhere. I could have done it for crit damage, but you'll see again in a second, I was using a lot of crit damage and crit chance on Ahsoka because she needed to be the big heavy hitter. And really the reason for that, as you saw in the video, she's constantly being called to assist, and so since she's going to be the damage dealer or attacking the most, I wanted to have her with the most damage output. And I mean, I could have assured that was going to be the case if I had reliced her, but I didn't, so I had to do it through mods. General Kenobi, again, this is where I said, so I've got a speed set, but then I put a health set on him, and that's really so that I could get his health over this 75k mark. I was running it at 70 and 70, and I wasn't getting it there. The the droids, they will do some true damage, and so your protection isn't as important as the actual health number is. So even though these numbers still balance out to about 140,000 total, having it on the health is more important. And if you see in the video, if I remember right, when the droidicas both use their nukes, Kenobi barely survives with minimal health, and that's all because I got this over the 75,000. Having it under that 75,000 mark made it super RNG to survive the 2 nuke shots from the droidicas, so that became very, very important. Then you see again here, it's the speed number. Speed was super hard with Kenobi. He's not a very fast character at all, but I needed to have him go 3rd in the turn order, or 4th in the turn order, and before the Magna Guards could go, I needed to take the B2 out. His mass assist is what allows you to take that B2 out before the Magna Guards have a chance to go. So needed to have that up. And as you keep seeing, crit damage percentage has to be up there. You're not always going to have in this event the right turn order that you're going to want with, you could have Shak Ti with like 15 stacks of courage from Padme and want her to be able to hit, but unfortunately it's Kenobi's turn, right? So you can't always just rely on being able to hit with the tune that has the big courage stacks. So you got to be able to do some damage kind of all the way around. And then we're gonna have Ahsoka here in a minute. Oh, I have these out of order. That's why I'm getting thrown off. So C3PO again. So here's another set where I'm getting 2 different bonuses. We're getting the 10% bonus for speed, having speed set, but potency you only have to have 2, and you get an extra 15%. Potency is the most important stat for C3PO. Potency is what allows him to put confuse on the other droids. So where that becomes super important is on the Magna Guards. Once you take one out, you can start hitting the droidicas, and to ensure that you don't have to keep hitting the other Magna Guard because of the taunt, you need to be able to confuse him first so that he can't taunt. And how you ensure that you get that confuse on is having a high potency. So my potency is over 100%. Trying to just keep that number up there or get that number up there as high as possible. I did have a different set on him before where that potency number was even higher, but my health and protection were lower, and I couldn't keep C3PO alive. And even with this set, you saw in the video, I lost C3PO at the end, which prevented it from being a 3-star run, but we got it done, so I kind of don't care. Achievement unlocked. The 107 potency was good enough with those numbers, and I got lucky. I got some RNG on my side on that one, and I'm okay with that. And then we have Ahsoka. So Ahsoka, here is, like I said, here is the big number. She's gonna be your damage dealer in this event. Because she's called to assist every time a special ability gets used. The whole premise of this squad is using special abilities, building translation buffs, and protection up buffs from Padme, and getting Ahsoka to assist. You want those translation buffs so that when you are using your abilities, the cooldown reduces by 1 if you have the 3 stacks of translation. But the whole point of that is so that you can use your unique abilities as often as possible so that you're calling Ahsoka to do even more damage. So for her, it's all about crits, right? So 30% crit damage by putting 4 crit damage mods on her, and then an extra 8% crit chance with they should have crit damages on them. Or I think I just went for crit chance because I already had so much crit damage. I was over 200, and I needed to get her crit chance number up because it wasn't as high as I wanted it. I wanted this higher, but I couldn't get the mod balance to work out right. Every time I would get this number up a little bit higher, then my health and protection was going down. And this was honestly, I did this run after changing this set out, and this health number scared me. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this done. She's not going to survive. And I got the RNG that got her too. So once again, I'll take it. So that's the mods that I used, and the gear levels that I had for the squad. A little bit higher geared than I normally try to run these events at. But what I'm finding is with gas, yeah, coming in under geared, you're just going to find yourself frustrated and doing the event over and over again and getting nowhere. There's certain combinations that you just have to have. So since you stuck with me through this really long video, let's take a look at phase 3. Phase 3, you don't have to use any of your tunes, any of your mods, none of it. It's all provided for you. So let's see what happens with Kenobi and Ventress here. I watched one video where they continued on into phase 3 right out of phase 2, and he used Kenobi's special and got his ass handed to him by Asajj on Retribution right away. So we're not going to do his little kick thing. We're going to just do a basic and see what happens. Now maybe let's try his kick. There we go. Can I do it again, or what is this one? Physical damage to all enemies and I don't. If possible, this attack will critically hit enemies with armor shred. Well, she's got armor shred, so done. That was easy. So much. I think that's the game's way of saying, hey, we know phase 2 was a huge pain in the ass, so here's an easy phase for you. Especially since phase 4 is coming up, and that one's gonna kick your ass too. But at the end of that one, you actually get General Anakin Skywalker, so that's your reward there. This one, I'm really far away. I don't have anyone where they're supposed to be. Asajj is the only one. Again, you need to have 17.7. Everything I've seen on it and read on it, Droideka and B1 really need to be relicked. So I'm gonna be pretty far away on that. I'll give you a quick snapshot here of where my squad is at for gas. So they're pretty far. I mean, 8, 8, 8, 9. So I've got a long ways to go with that. But stay tuned, and I will, as soon as I get there, then we'll be putting up another video and trying to help everyone else out on what to do to pass it. So until next time, remember, expendable might be in our name, but none of you are expendable to me.